Let us perform sodium hydroxide test for the fourth group cations. Here I have taken nickel sulfate salt and I am preparing aqueous solution of it. I am adding distilled water into it to prepare an aqueous solution of a salt. Now this test tube contains cobalt acetate salt and I am adding distilled water to prepare an aqueous solution of it. In third test tube, zinc sulfate salt is taken and I am adding distilled water to prepare an aqueous solution of zinc sulfate. Now in fourth test tube I have taken manganese chloride salt and I am adding distilled water to prepare aqueous solution of a salt. Now let us perform sodium hydroxide test in the respective salt solutions. First of all, I am taking approximately 1 ml of nickel sulfate solution and I am adding sodium hydroxide solution into it. After adding sodium hydroxide solution, a green colored voluminous gel-like precipitate of nickel hydroxide will be obtained and it will not dissolve in excess of sodium hydroxide. In another test tube I have taken the aqueous solution of cobalt acetate and now I am adding sodium hydroxide solution into it. A deep blue colored complex of cobalt hydroxide will be obtained. It is a tetrahedral complex and it is deep blue in color. Now this blue color complex of tetrahedral cobalt hydroxide solution will be obtained. Now in the third test tube I have taken zinc ion. Here it is the aqueous solution of zinc sulfate and now I am adding sodium hydroxide solution into it. After adding sodium hydroxide solution, white precipitate of zinc hydroxide will be obtained and it will be soluble in excess of sodium hydroxide. And zinc is amphoteric in nature and it will be soluble in excess of sodium hydroxide due to the formation of sodium zincate. And the clear transparent solution will be obtained. Now fourth test tube contains Mn2 plus ion. I am taking 1 ml of a solution containing Mn2 plus ion and I am adding sodium hydroxide solution into it. After adding sodium hydroxide solution, buff color precipitate of manganese hydroxide will be obtained and that will turn brown due to the aerial oxidation and due to formation of manganese oxyhydroxide, and on the upper layer brown color precipitate of manganese oxide will be obtained due to the aerial oxidation of manganese hydroxide into magnesium oxide, that is Mn2, due to the formation of Mn2, and the upper layer turns brown. And in this way we have seen that how fourth group cations react with sodium hydroxide solution. Now let us perform a unique test exhibited by cobalt 2 plus ion. Here is an aqueous solution of cobalt 2 plus ion and I am adding sodium hydroxide solution into it and record the observation. First of all, blue colored precipitate of cobalt hydroxide will be obtained and that will turn pink on standing, or you can see that hydrated cobalt hydroxide solution complex will be obtained, and that will be pink in color. The color will turn from blue to pink, and this test is not given by nickel 2 plus ion. Now on adding excess of sodium hydroxide solution into it, a deep blue color complex of tetrahedral cobalt hydroxide will be obtained, and this will confirm the presence of cobalt 2 plus ion.